Yo, it's your man. A show about me, baby, Mr. Senior Love Daddy, the one and only, the voice of choice. The champ is here. The champ is here. Man, it's a wonderful day. Sunday, July the 21st. Oh, July the 20th. Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. About 87 degrees. The Lord has shined His light on this wonderful Sunday. He shined His light, and it's shining in my heart today, man. I wanted to get on here and give my testimony because the enemy was talking to me earlier, man. He was trying to get me discouraged, trying to get me down, trying to get me to start talking negative about the things I'm doing in my life. But the light was battling the darkness, man. I'm telling you, the light been battling the darkness all day. So what happened was yesterday, started yesterday. It's coming in Texas, and as always, I'm a slowpoke. I'm a slow driver. Never mind that. But it was kind of a day where I woke up before the sun. I woke up about a couple hours before sunrise, and was feeling real good. Got up, had this thought in my head. Today I'm gonna do the best I can do. I ain't gonna worry about nothing, and I'm gonna just keep moving forward. And halfway through the day, I got to Arkansas, and I was just past Little Rock, Arkansas, and the negative voices, the enemy started talking to me, telling me, man, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't gonna never get down the road. You ain't gonna never be able to make your appointment on time. Stuff like that. All these fearful thoughts started coming up, and but I made it through the day. I made it through the day. I told myself I was gonna make it through the day, but something in my spirit was just kind of just a little bit off. It wasn't like I was going through a season or just a day of just being discouraged, but I heard the faint thoughts were whispering in my head, and I just pushed them to the side. And so I woke up this morning. I was in Sulphur Springs, Texas. Woke up again a couple hours before sunrise, and continued the same process I've been doing. I've been getting up early and hitting it hard, starting early before the traffic gets out here. But when I got to Aledo, which is west of Fort Worth, I laid down and I took a nap, and it took about an hour nap. And when I woke up, I felt like I was drained. All my energy, all of my vigor, all of my focus was just gone. Like I didn't have any focus to continue going on. And I just was silent in my head, silently, feeling sorry for myself. And it didn't have no real reason why I was feeling sorry for myself. I just woke up, after I took the nap, and just was feeling kind of like, defeated, like that type of mindset, defeated. That's what I was feeling. I was feeling defeated. So I continued driving, and I drove about another 3.5 hours, and this thought in my head wasn't even me. It was just saying, being on the ropes ain't the same as being knocked out. Being on the ropes in a fight, a fighter, he comes into the fight with the mentality of, I'm gonna win. If I ain't gonna win, he ain't gonna win either. We both ain't gonna win. And so the fighter has to have a strong mental fortitude to continue that that task. He has a task. He has to continue fighting. You know, that's his mission, is to get in the ring and don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. And I've heard stories about great champions, you know, great champions in the past who've been in some knockdown, drag-out fights in their lives. And they said, one thing they always said, that whenever an opponent was getting the best of them and whooping up on them real bad, you know, they couldn't really land any punches. They couldn't even really defend themselves. They would lean on the ropes to kind of get their win. You know, they had to get a second win because, you know, as much as they prepared physically, mentally, emotionally, probably spiritually as well, until you actually get in the fight and you're actually doing something, you never really know how your body's going to perform. You never know what tricks your mind's going to play on you. So I heard fighters say, you know, if you're getting beat and you feel like you're about to get knocked out, find a way to just hold on to the bell rings. Find a way just to get through the match. Get through that what am I looking for? I'm looking for the word. The word is get through that round. You know, Muhammad Ali used to have a thing where he would, if he was getting kind of knocked around and he was getting beat up, he would lean on the ropes. He would fight off the ropes. And it was a real unorthodox style of boxing. But whenever he would lean on the ropes, he wouldn't have to put all his weight on his legs. His legs would be tired. So he would lean on the ropes. And he would just fight from that stance where his balance was kind of supplemented, or he was kind of able to lean on something, you know, and then still be able to throw a couple of punches while he was leaning on the ropes. And that's a major component for champions is that their mindset is they're going to do whatever it takes to stay in the fight. They're not going to give up. They're not going to quit, even though it might look like they ain't going to win. Being on the ropes is not the same as being knocked out. You know what I'm saying? You still have the time to still, you know, kind of build up your energy again. That's just like anything, you know. A marathon runner, you know, they don't run full speed the whole race. You know, sometimes their body will let them know, hey, you need to slow down. You know, you still got they might be at mile marker 16, you know, and up until then they might have been doing a good pace. They might have been running about a 5 or 4 minute mile, but they hit mile 16 and they hit a wall. So they have to compensate for the lack of endurance, and they have to allow their body to as they continue the marathon, as the boxer continues to fight, they have to kind of conserve a little bit. They have to conserve what little they have left until they get some more endurance, you know. So, you know, I feel like today I've been driving early this whole week. I've been getting up like 4, 3, and my day will be halfway over about 10 o'clock, and probably it'll be 3/4 of the way done by 10 o'clock. But I have to conserve my energy so that I can finish the trip, so I can finish the day off and get where I'm supposed to be by the end of the day. Sometimes in the middle of the day, I'll hit my wall, and I think that's what happened with me. Is I just hit a mental wall. Like I couldn't see any positive outcomes for me driving, or I couldn't see how I was going to continue doing this for a sustained period. How is this a sustainable career? But, you know, I just heard that thought while I was driving a while ago. You know, being on the ropes, it's not the same as being out. So last time I left OTR, I allowed myself to stay mentally drained, and it affected me so much that I couldn't continue doing over the road trucking. I couldn't handle the day in and day out of driving 500, 600 miles every day. But I've got a little bit of understanding about what it takes to endure now, you know. And every day it's not easy. Every day is not supposed to be easy. Some days you just get through them. You know, you put one step in front of the other, and you keep on moving. You know, even though you might be driving slower, you might have to take a few more breaks. You know, just to kind of get your focus back to where it needs to be. But that is not the same as having a defeated mindset. So I wanted to share that with everybody. Like, I don't know why that was happening to me today. I wasn't doing anything different than what I've been doing. You know, I've been doing the same routine for the last week, maybe a week and a half. But yeah, you know, sometimes that little that whisper in your head will tell you, man, you know, you can't keep doing this. But then, you know, there's another voice inside of you. Maybe it's God. Maybe it's the God inside of me that is telling me, keep going. You know, keep going. You don't have to be as fast as all the other drivers. You don't have to be, you know, you don't have to do what everybody else do. You know, you're you. I am me. I'm one of a kind. You know what I mean? And I have to tell myself that constantly. You know, nobody else can do what I can do. And I can't do what anybody else can do. So I have to, in my day-to-day existence, I have to constantly remind myself, I am who I am because God made me this way, and I have abilities, and I have the temperance, I have the fortitude, I have the drive that God has given me to do what I need to do every day. Every day I get up, I have to tell myself, you know, I am somebody. I am somebody. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, with that, y'all take care, man. This is Mr. Senior Love Daddy saying, y'all take care, you know, and sometimes, you know, you got to lean on them ropes a little bit. Y'all be safe.